Happy Thursday. It's Thursday. Thirsty Thursday, man. I could go for some good drinks tonight. Probably ain't gonna happen. I swear there's a locust in my truck or something. Kids out here running around. I think it's like a track team or a cross country team or something. Like they're young kids. They're like just a little bit older than my son. Huh. Well, go get it, kids. Go run. Alright. As you can see, I am farming. Farming. Hey, Quaid, what's good, man? I am farming. 7-1. I haven't hit any of the higher levels lately. Everybody in my faction, you know, ever since they increased the level up cap, you know, they're up to, you know, 103, 104. What's up, Juice? Man, I'm not leveling up as fast as the others in my faction, and it's because I'm farming 7-1. I'm farming the gear map. You know, I'm hitting all these lower levels. I'm not even farming for weapons right now. I am farming for crap gear, for gloves and for wrinkled shirts and for survivors, because I do not have enough saved up. I do not have enough. Nowhere near it. And that's gonna kind of be the premise behind today's chat here. Is I ran into an issue when I joined Necessary Evil. When I joined this #1 faction here, I felt like I needed to sleeping, you young man. You sleep, man. You get your beauty sleep. Lord knows you need it. You and me both, man. I felt like I needed to jump into the fray. You know, I needed to be up there, same level as all these other guys who have, you know, put a ton of time and money and farming and effort and all that into the game. I needed to be up on that same exact level immediately. I didn't, man. I still don't. The thing about it is that I want to take the next step. Okay? I'm easily one of the top 100 people on the region. Easily. Well, maybe even higher than that. I'm just too humble to admit it. Okay? But I don't want to be there. I don't want to be top 100. I want to be top 10, top 5. I want to be #1. You know, I want people, when it comes wartime and they see me in the war, they see my camp, I want them to just say, fuck it, I ain't even gonna try it. Yeah, that's what I want. And to me, next step is to get closer to there. You know, it's to be the anchor, the tank, you know, the one that, holy shit, I just cannot beat this guy. That's the next step. Not necessarily the everybody just ignores me, but the man, this guy is gonna whoop my ass if I try to beat him. I don't want anybody having too much confidence when they hit me. Okay? Nice. You keep up on that weapon, man. Weapons are gonna be a topic of discussion. I want to be like 42, I guess. That's a good way to say it. You know, I want to. 42 is my next level. Yeah, beatable. But damn if it doesn't suck trying to beat him, you know? And to get there, to get to the next step up, to the next level, what do I got to do, you know? I find myself asking that question all the time. What the hell do I need to do to move up? What do I got to do to be better than I am right now? And I've said that a few times before in the past. You know, when I went from being a log in every day, do my thing, and, you know, be content with that, you know, I'm not even in the top 5,000. What did I have to do to get up to that next level? When I was in the top 5,000 and said, you know what, I want to be in the top 1,000. What did I do then? And when I got up in that top 200 and I wanted to get to top 100, what the hell did I do then to actually make it happen? I was patient. You know? I was patient. I sat with nothing but 3 stars and 4 stars for the first year and a half of the game probably. But I still clawed my way up. You know, I didn't have to break the bank to grow like I did. I did it through patience. You know, the thing to remember is that this game, along with so many games with similar gameplay mechanics and whatnot, is a marathon. You are not going to... You can buy every 5-star in the game, but if you can't level them up and if you can't upgrade them, what's the point? Just because you got 55 stars on your team doesn't make you unbeatable. Doesn't make you any stronger. Just because you got all the gear to upgrade them and level them up, it don't make you any better than you are. You have to learn the theories behind the team building. You have to know how to use the characters properly, even when you're not in control of them, like when you're defending. You have to have the weapons to use them right. And how do you get all that stuff? You get it through patience. You get it through farming and trying and failing and getting back up and trying again. But the key to it all is being patient and not getting down when you fail on that 200th stun gun, or when you finally get that shield Michonne you've been waiting for, and then you realize I'm not prepared to level her up quick enough. That right there is fucking killer in your brain. When you're like sitting there and you know that you got one character away, you're one character away from being at this mecca of teams, but you can't level it up. And now she's sitting in your roster at tier 2 level 60 because you don't have enough 2 stars. You do need helpful teammates, man. Because you don't have enough 2 stars, though, to level her up. So she's just going to sit there in your roster. She is no good at tier 2 level 60. She's no good at tier 3 level 1. She's no good at tier 4 level 10. I don't have enough to level her up, and that's my fault. I was the dumbass who got complacent. And I was the dumbass who was thinking I'm going to rely on You Got Luckies or Bricks and Mortars or other scavenger missions to level her up. The reason why my team is not defending like some of these others are is my fault. It's because I forgot the struggle. I got comfy, you know? It's so easy to level up a bunch of characters and create a bunch of weapons when you have a straight up surplus of shit. When you've got more gear than you know what to do with, when you've got more weapons parts than you know what to do with, it's easy to level up and create new weapons and upgrade your characters and all that. But when you have to grind to get one laser sight so you can try to make another stun gun, you're doing it wrong. You're doing something wrong, and you got to make that change. And I've been playing wrong these last couple months. I have been playing it wrong. I've been searching left and right, up and down for these 4-star weapons. Why? On the hierarchy of things that I need to progress in the game, 4-star weapons isn't at the top right now. Because I am in a faction that's going to get a 5-star character, a new premier character, every couple weeks maybe. And I can't level them up. And by the time I get them leveled up, they're going to be very outdated. You know, people are going to know how to defend against them. They're going to know how to attack against them. And I've lost that element of surprise. So I gotta slow things down. I need to spend more time here in 7.1 instead of in 17.3 looking for 4-star weapons or trying to level up quicker. Yeah, that's gonna be cool to see that, 103 next to my name. But really, what good does that do my faction? What good does that do me? No, it doesn't really. I mean, yeah, they give some pretty cool shit out when you level up, but nothing compared to how awesome it would be to see my name has defended this, and my name has defended that, and my name has defended this attack. And the war logs. That would be so much better than seeing that 104 next to my name. And I'm not going to see any of that because I'm not being patient enough. So, for today's drive here, I wanted to talk about patience. Wanted to talk about farming and leveling up your characters properly, doing it right. Because in my main region here in Worth, and even in my starter region in Chilton, my secondary, I'm just here to help other people learn how to play the game, I'm seeing things done wrong. Just flat out wrong. I've got people in Chilton that they don't have drop leaders up. They don't leave drop leaders up because they're more worried about defending raids rather than understanding the importance of farming and how much of this game is just farming and gathering resources and hoarding the resources. I'm Teacher Larry, man. That's what this is all for. I'm trying to help people get better at the game because I want more competition. I want 50 other motherfuckers that are just like me, that put way too much stock into their ability to defend in wars. So, I got my little notes here on what I want to talk about. You need to be thinking 2 steps ahead. And what do I mean by that? Well, you got to prepare for that next character you're getting. You don't know who it is. You don't know who the next character is. But you got to know that you're going to need 2 groups of things. You're going to need, 1, the gear to upgrade that character. Everything you need to level up and upgrade that character. The gear, the fodder, the 2 stars, the trainers, all that shit you got to put into the character to level them up. and then the food, and then you've got to have the weapons for them. Well, how do I know what weapon to craft if I don't know what character it is? You gotta start crafting all the weapons. Just craft all of them. But I don't have enough stuff to craft all those weapons. Farm, dude. Farm. Research how to craft the materials, how to craft the weapons parts you need. When you get to level 20 on the armory, you can craft but the special shit that you need, the duct tapes, the spray paints, that kind of stuff. You can't craft that, but you can craft the laser sights, the open sights, the enclosed hilts, all that stuff. And once you have a surplus of that, then you start crafting. Because it is way easier to get to the top than it is to stay at the top. So if you wait and be patient, you're gonna have a better time. So, farming. Where do I farm? What's the best stages for farming? Well, it depends on what you're farming for. If you're farming to level up characters, you're farming for just general purpose farming, 7-1. You're going to get a lot of survivors. You're going to get a lot of the gear you need to train survivors. It's, in my opinion, it's the best level for general all-around farming, and it's cheap. It costs 3 energy. Once you hit level 102, you can hit it 13 or 23 times on 1 round of energy. And that's going to be good for about 100 or so shirts and gloves. Not each, but combined. If you're a lower level, like in your 30, 40 level player, hit 11.5. It's got a really good XP to world energy cost ratio. I think it's the second highest behind 16.1. Maybe 12.4 gives out good weapons, gives out good gear for upgrading, ammo belts, hiking boots, that kind of stuff. And it's got a really good XP to world energy ratio as well. And then 13.3 and 13.5 are really good for weapons, if you're needing weapons to disassemble for more gear and whatnot. And I don't know, I got this here in all caps with an exclamation point and an asterisk next to it. Save your coins. Save, don't auto-complete crap. Save them. Hold on to those things. They're the currency in the game. Save them. Don't waste them. So, with everybody getting all these new epic characters, or not new, but new to them epic characters, 5 stars and whatnot, you know, you got people that are not used to having them, and they want to level them all up, all of them, all at once. They want all of them leveled up. They got 5 new characters, and like, I got to level all 5 of them. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's expensive. It's wasteful. Do you really need to level up Annie? Nobody needs Annie. Nobody. Leave Annie alone. Save her for your faction level up tournaments. Save her for your solo level up tournaments. You know, and you should always be trying to level up your characters during tournaments anyways, but don't put her at the forefront. Don't waste your upgrade gear, because you know what's going to happen is the minute that you level up that Annie, who's a soldier, you're going to get a Red Garrett, who is also a soldier, and you're not going to have the gear to upgrade Garrett. You know, your shield. You finally got your Garrett shield. You're not going to be able to upgrade them because you don't have the gear, because you wasted it on Annie. What you want to do is you want to identify your key characters, your ones that you're going to build your team around. Like, for instance, I got Shield Michonne. I'm going to build my defense around Michonne. So, while I would absolutely love to upgrade Kenny, he's not going to help out on my Michonne defense as much as, say, the Taunt Michonne is going to, or the Sophia that I just got as well. So Kenny's going to take a back seat. Herschel's going to take a back seat, the Revive Herschel that I got, because I have a Reviver already. I don't need to waste my resources with another one. Be cognizant of what you're doing when you're leveling up your characters and who you're leveling up. You know, first thing I'll look for when I go to level up a character is leader skill. Do they have a good leader skill? And do I have other characters that are going to benefit from that leader skill? For instance, when I got Red Negan from the Shiva event, that was priority number one for me. I got Kenny around the same time. I got who else? I picked up that Michonne, the blue Taunt Michonne, Retribution one. I think she's Retribution. I picked her up around the same time. But Red Negan became priority because I didn't have a ranged team leader. A team that I could use to build with my blue Garrett that I got, my red Garrett that I got. I didn't have a team leader, so Negan became priority. And I'm happy I did it because he's actually pretty good. I didn't never realize how good he was. So identify your key characters. Don't worry so much about just leveling up everybody. There's nothing wrong. I've got 5 stars that have been sitting in my roster for a while that I haven't touched because I know that if I level them up, I'm going to regret it. Because I'm not going to use them like I would. Now, I do have levels on them because they help with hitting, the bonuses and level up events. But otherwise, they just sit in my roster and just take up space. So pick 1 or 2 characters, and while they're in level 1, while they're still on tier 1, okay, that's when you want to focus on leveling up their adrenaline rush. It's cheaper when they're in tier 1. Okay, so for tier 1, I'm going to highly recommend you use nothing but that same persona to level them up. So if you've got, say you picked up the Blue Michonne, I'll just use her because she's on my mind right now. Blue Michonne, she's a hunter. I'm going to use nothing but hunters to level her up in tier 1. So that her adrenaline rush will hopefully be up in that, 7 of 10, 8 of 10 range, or hopefully maxed out by the time I go to move her into tier 2. Now tier 2, if she isn't maxed out, I'm still focusing on leveling her adrenaline rush. Characters are pretty much worthless unless their adrenaline rush is leveled up. You don't want to have to wait 3 or 4 turns for them to pop. You want that turn 1, turn 2, maybe turn 3 at the latest adrenaline rush. So unless you're doing a shield, if you're leveling up a shield, don't level up their adrenaline rush. And another mistake that a lot of people make is scavenger missions. You got luckies, the 100K, the bricks and mortar. It's like I got a 5-star, I'm gonna throw them in there right away. That's a waste, man. That is a waste. It's so much cheaper and uses so many less resources and to level them up in tier 1 and tier 2 using food and and 2 stars than it does later on when they're leveling. So like, I try to keep them, I try not to put them in a scav camp until tier 4. 1, when that level up tourney starts, you just collect it and you got a good head start. And 2, their adrenaline rush is probably already leveled up. And then it also is so expensive, especially when you're trying to get them from, you know, about 50, 60 to 80. Dude, there's so much needed to get them from 50 to maxed out. And leveling them up from tier 4 level 1 to tier 4 level 40, level 50, that seems to go by so much quicker than going from going up the second half. So be resourceful with that. Don't just dump them into a scav camp immediately. And then there's 2 more questions you want to ask when you're trying to, you know, figure out who you're going to level up. The first is, do you have a team to put around them? You know, just because you got that shield Michonne doesn't mean you want to level her up immediately. Because if you don't have either a good leader or an absolute defense weapon, you don't want to level her up right away. Save her. Use somebody else. Get somebody else leveled up. Because base stats are good, yeah, but if you can't enhance those base stats, you're just wasting your resources on something else that could help you get those good leaders for her, or get the parts you need for the weapon. You know, just take your time and pick the right character. And then the other question to ask is, do you have the weapons for them? You know, if I didn't have an absolute defense weapon, I wouldn't have been so excited about Michonne. Yeah, she would have been nice. Yeah, I could put her on a Tyrese led team or the Sophia led team, and she would hold her own for a while. But having that absolute defensive weapon really put her head and shoulders above any other character I've wanted. I've wanted her since she dropped. But once I got that absolute defensive weapon, she became a necessity, and I took forever to freaking get her. But now I got her, and I'm happy about it. So when it comes to leveling up your team, you know, you just gotta, when it comes to getting better in the game, sometimes you just need a reminder to be patient, you know? Yeah, it sucks sitting here farming, but I'm driving, so it's not like I'm doing anything anyways. I mean, other than paying attention to the road and stuff. And I mean, I'll go seconds and minutes without pushing that button if I'm on traffic or whatnot, so I can focus on the road. But I'll farm at home, you know, while I'm watching shows or whatever. I got my wife, you know, we're sitting on the couch together watching our shows, watching, you know, Game of Thrones or Orange is the New Black, or you know, she watched Sons of Anarchy with me, Walking Dead. I'll put my phone on the couch next to us and I'll just autoplay it. I'm not diverting my focus. It just autoplays, you know, it just goes on its own and does its own thing. And then when I'm out of energy, I'll just turn it off until I got more. You can do this while you're eating supper or something. You know, you're sitting down eating supper, just hit that autoplay button and you can burn through a couple rounds easily. You know, you're taking a dump, just autoplay that shit, man. In the shower, start one up before you hop in the shower. Boom, done, good to go, easy peasy lemon squeezy. There was somebody in our region who had a name. There was an easy peasy and there was a lemon squeezy right underneath them. It was hilarious for the longest time. So, farm, man. Farm. My goal right now is to hit 2,500 shirts and gloves. I want to have 2,500 shirts and gloves. I want to be able to take 3 characters, 3 5-stars from tier 1, level 1 to tier 4, level 80 without a scavenger mission. So that's 2,500, 2,397 total, 2,397 shirts and gloves total. It's gonna be something like 60 some odd million food and a shit ton of like 20,000 or something survivors. I don't even know them. 5 times 800, that's like 40,000 or 4,000 survivors or something like that. I mean, that's a lot of survivors. So I mean, I got a lot of farming to do. So I suggest you do the same if you want to take the next step. I mean, what are you guys doing? If anybody's still watching, I don't know, I kind of got on a rant there. What are you doing to take the next step? Man, what the hell is going on? Just select Jesus, apply, attack. You know, what are you guys doing to take the next step? What are you doing to help you progress in the game? Are you doing something different than I'm doing? Do you have suggestions for me? I mean, how do I become that guy when you're facing him war? It's like, God, I can beat him, but we got to have both towers, you know, and I can't miss, you know, and I got to hope that his absolute defensive weapon doesn't take, you know, I can get hits in. What do you think I need to do to make that turn? Man, it's a serious question. I'm looking for advice because other than patience and continuing to build things, I got nothing. I mean, my mind is completely lost when it comes to what I can do. I mean, I've got the characters, I've got the weapons, I've got the know-how, but I still seem stuck. I've got 2 weapons crafting right now. One of them will be done later this evening. It's nothing special. I reset Kirkman Rick's weapon, his revolver that came with it. I reset it. It had a bunch of HP and defense added to it, but I want him to be more of an attack character. So I'm adding what should be a huge bonus to attack, because I did the reset trick. And then I also am hoping to get an Impair shotgun that I will hopefully put on Blue Michonne. Fuck, I hope I get that. I feel like I need an Impair or a stun or something. But those are the last 2 weapons. That Impair shotgun is the last special weapon I'm going to try for a while. Not for a lack of gear. I mean, that's Marf. That's who I'm trying to be better than. If only I had a better paying job, I could probably get better than him. If I fail this Impair shotgun, I mean, regardless of whether I fail it or not, I'm done with special crafting for a while. I'm only going to do basic upgrades because I need to save my duct tape and my polishing kits and my spray paints and all that crap for weapons that matter. And I don't want to have to start another weapon and then grind for a few weeks to get the stuff to make another one. I want to get to a point to where I can be in perpetual crafting. Just like training 2 stars and stuff, I want it to be perpetual, non-stop. I want to move from one to the next to the next. You know, it takes about what is it, 40 hours to do a special weapon or to do any of the tier 3 upgrades on a weapon. So I want to have it set up to where every 20 hours I'm collecting and starting a new weapon. And that's just going to take time, farming. I'm pulling up to the house now, everybody. Sorry I went on the ramble like I did today. I just needed to put that out there so that I can pull this video back up and remind myself of what I got to do to get better. Thanks for watching. We're getting pretty close to that 50 subscriber mark. Once I get there, we're going to do the giveaway. Yeah, I've got nothing else for today. Take care, y'all. Later.